Hey everybody, it's me, Jose Segura, your SMEEA president. Welcome to another episode of Fireside Chat with the President. That's me. Hey, it's good to see everyone. This is the Friday, right? May 29th, the Friday before the last Friday of the school year. And what a year it's been. Oh my God, insane. And so, we're in the home stretch here. And I just want to remind everybody that we do still have one more week of school. We're still required to be on the clock for our employer. And they're counting on us to close things out. Like you, I'll be relieved once June 5th comes and we can focus on other things. All right. So it's been a heck of a week. So let's do a couple of things here. Here's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about benefits, a little update there. We're going to talk about a little preview that Tony Thurmond gave, our state superintendent of public instruction, about what guidelines the state's going to be putting out here in the next week or so. Negotiations update. You can actually hear it from Jonathan B.A., our lead negotiator, so straight from him. And then let's get going. All right. So let's start off with benefits. As you know, we accepted a rate pass for next benefits plan. So our benefits plan doesn't start until October 1st, for those of you who don't know. And so a rate pass simply just means that we are generating enough revenue, enough funds to cover all of our costs and still being able to put a little bit into our own reserve. And so just a quick explanation, right, about our self-funded benefits plan. Our self-funded benefits plan simply means what the district contributes to benefits, and I think that's like $13,900, what each of us contribute to benefits, right, our monthly contribution, that all goes into a pot, to an account. Every time you go to the doctor or somebody covered under our plan goes to a doctor, has a procedure, gets lab work, picks up a medication, the cost for that comes out of that pot and it's paid directly to whoever the service provider is. And so we're not traditionally insured. We actually pay our own insurance bills based on the money that we collect from our employer and from individual participants in the plan. That's super important to know because when we talk about things that might save us some money, we're really literally talking about saving us money, not just saving a big insurance company money. And so because we're self-insured, we've done a good job this past year of really keeping costs contained. People are still going to the doctor. People are still doing what needs to be done. We did a really great job. That's why we have the rate pass. So no rate increases for next year. Whatever we're paying now, which I know is a lot, it'll be stabilized throughout the next year. But we do have a couple of things that we're going to add, and so I wanted to share this with you. There's something called cost sharing. And cost sharing is essentially this idea that the part that you pay out of pocket when you see a doctor, your co-pays, the part you pay when you have a hospitalization, right? You have that 90-10, so that 10% that comes out of your pocket. Cost sharing simply means that the insurance company is willing to pay your part so that there's no out-of-pocket for you. Well, this occurred when COVID-19 became, a big deal everywhere. Lots of insurance companies jumped on board and said, hey, insured people, we're going to go ahead and cover cover your out-of-pocket costs for COVID-19 related medical expenses, whether it's testing, hospitalizations, and so on. Because we're self-insured, there is no insurance company that covers that part. We actually cover that part as from our pool. So when I say we, it comes out of that pot, right, that we're putting our money into. And so we've been doing that up until now. That is going to expire, and the insurance companies would like to extend it until December 31st of 2019. And so our district-wide benefits committee got together, and we decided that we're doing pretty well. We have enough money in our own insurance pot that we can extend that as well. And so we will be extending that benefit to all covered members between now and December 31st. So if you have any medical expenses related to COVID-19, whether it's being tested, hospitalization, ventilator, ICU, whatever it is, the part that normally comes out of your pocket will not. And so that's great. So we want to make sure that everybody who needs the treatment is getting the treatment and is getting it in a timely manner. The second thing we decided to do was something called something related to cancer treatment. So if you are diagnosed with cancer locally, you are someone who's covered under the plan, and you want a second opinion, we are going to establish a relationship with the City of Hope, which is a world-renowned cancer facility down in Los Angeles, for our folks to get a free second opinion. That includes any testing that they're going to require. It includes the drive down to LA and back, and also the consultation fees with the physicians down there. And so this is really a great opportunity to get a second opinion, not only for your diagnosis, but your treatment, a treatment second opinion, like what is best for you given whatever your particular circumstances are, you or a covered person. And so that's really a great benefit. That whole cost will be covered by our plan. So we've decided to use the money that's in our pot to cover those costs so that our folks and their loved ones who are also covered under our plan have access to world-class cancer treatment, second opinion, so that they can make sure that they're getting the best possible treatment so that they can have the best possible outcome. So that's going to start on October 1st. That's the beginning of our plan year. So it's not for this current plan, but October 1st, when our plan year begins, this benefit will be added. And the other benefit that's going to be added October 1st is that our plan will pay your copay for your first 3 primary care visits in a year. Not just you, but any other loved one who's covered under our plan. So all people covered under the plan, your first 3 visits to your primary care, the copay will be covered by the plan, so no out-of-pocket to you. Now, this doesn't cover specialists, so if you get referred to a specialist, you're going to have to continue to pay your copay. But this is really another incentive to get folks out there, seeing their physicians, making sure that if they have potential health issues, that they are addressing them and they're not putting them off. And so we think that's a great benefit for our members. We think it really will encourage folks to seek treatment early so that they can get the care that they need and not let medical conditions exacerbate. So there we go. That's our benefits update. Let's go now to Tony Thurmond. So yesterday, Tony Thurmond, who is the State Superintendent of Public Instruction, right? He gave an interview. He gave an interview and then he had a press conference. So we're talking about the press conference right here. And the press conference is, there's a link to the actual video back in the email that this video was attached to. And in that video, amongst other things, he talked a little bit about the state's guidelines that they're going to be producing for districts of how to reopen schools. And he really actually defined it more of like a guidebook, almost a step-by-step. And so they're really taking pains to make sure that what they provide to school districts will give districts all the parameters necessary in order to safely reopen schools. And so I wanted to give you a couple of highlights because in yesterday's press announcement that he put out, the video press announcement, he actually gave a little preview of what is going to be in that plan. So let me just give you a couple of things. So he said that we can expect that face coverings for all students and staff. Now, don't shoot the messenger. Hey, I'm not, I don't want to put a face covering on a 6-year-old and see how long that lasts, but this is what they're telling us. This is going to be part of the plan. Apparently, this kind of thing is already occurring in preschools because preschools have been running this entire time, and they're getting a lot of their cues from the successes they're seeing in preschool programs because they have been operating throughout this whole pandemic. So face coverings for all. Physical distancing, the 6 feet, they're not going to reduce that number. 6 feet is still going to be 6 feet. And so we can't expect to have to be physically distant from each other and having that set up in our classroom. So what that's going to look like, we'll see, but gives you an idea of some of the constraints that we're going to have come the fall, right? This includes physical distance on buses and who knows what that's going to look like. Taking temperatures every day at school. So as kids enter the school grounds and staff, temperatures will be taken. Again, this is something that's occurring in preschools that are still operating, and the state is really taking a lot of their cues from how well this has functioned at the preschool level. And so they're going to upsize it to include all the rest of us, right? So expect temperature checks every day. Also, encouraging of parents and families to do temperature checks before kids even leave their home. And the goal here is to not have to worry about containing someone who's ill at the school, but that person never even making it to school because the potential symptoms are being identified before they even leave their home. And so let's see. He did say that we should expect to see some type of hybrid system when it comes to instruction next year. And so when we talk about hybrid, right, we're talking about in-person and distance. Of course, no details on that, but he did say that that they've been surveying parents across the state, getting an idea of what parents can and can't do, really what parents can and cannot tolerate, and also looking at what the safety guidelines are. And so he said to expect some kind of hybrid instructional model, and that there's a big focus on the digital divide. And so there are, I don't know, like 600,000 students in the state of California that don't have any type of computing device. They don't have a computer or a Chromebook or anything like that. And even with that, there's still another 300 to 400,000 kids who may or may not have a computing device, right? Who don't have access to the internet. And so that digital divide is clearly there, and the state is working on trying to get private industry to help close that divide and bring everybody onto the same playing field. So that's the update from Tony Thurmond. Tony Thurmond, you can watch the video. Again, the actual guidelines and the actual guidebook from the state won't be out until the first part of June. So that's going to be key in moving forward. All right, the next thing is negotiation. So negotiations update. I want you to hear it straight from Jonathan B.A. So let's go over to Jonathan B.A. and have him give us his update. Jonathan?
Hello everyone, it's Jonathan B.A., your SMEEA Negotiating Team Chair. Thanks for clicking on this video. I just wanted to give you a quick update on what happened at the table on May 20th. That day we discussed Article 12, retirement, Article 24, reconfiguration, Article 25, preschool, Article 13, class size, and once again, Article 5, workday, work year. I'll go through each one and briefly explain the issues and where we're at on each one. Retirement, we're specifically dealing right now with Article 12.1, the reduced work schedule program. We have come close to agreement with the district on this. We're trying to increase flexibility for members and how the program can be applied. And we'd also like to increase the number of member participants in the program. We have a couple of issues that are unresolved, though we are close to agreement. We have a question regarding the number of participants. That's still yet to be determined. SMEEA, of course, would like to allow more members to participate. The district has expressed some interest in that, but we don't have anything final yet on that. Our biggest concern with the changes being proposed are how folks who are already on waiting lists to participate in the reduced work schedule program will or won't be grandfathered in should the language change. So we have to resolve that. That's a pretty big piece. We're kind of at odds a little bit on that. Of course, SMEEA wants to protect the rights that members currently have. The district wants to perhaps set a deadline, a limit on the number of years members could be on a waiting list. Again, yet to be determined, and will be up for discussion at our next session on June 2nd. Preschool, Article 25, we've been trying to get an increase in salary for preschool members. We've tried various ways to do that, increasing the salary schedule by a flat amount, increasing it by a percentage, adding steps, adding columns. So far, the district's response has been zero increase for preschool members. However, they would agree to allowing preschool members an initial interview if they have the appropriate credentials and would like to apply for a TK through 8 position within the district. Class size was the big shock of the day. The district on May 14th had brought a counter proposal to SMEEA's proposal to lower class sizes of status quo. So we had said we'd like to have lower class sizes going forward, and they'd said, how about we'll keep them the same as they are this year. That was their initial counter. Interestingly, when we came back on the 20th, they had another counter. And this time it seemed to us to be very regressive because it was worse than their previous offer. Something regressive is a very big no-no in the world of negotiations, and something that potentially could lead to what we refer to as an unfair labor practice charge, if proven, of course. However, the district is maintaining that the state's current financial situation represents a material change in conditions that warrants them making a, quote, regressive move. Again, not their point of view, but perhaps ours. So we've got a lot of work to do on class size, obviously, because instead of coming closer together, we appear to be moving farther apart. Kind of similar situation with workday, work year. That's been a big part of this bargain, and I think probably is really the linchpin on whether or not this deal is made or not before the end of the school year. There is a list of things that are major concerns to the members. We have repeatedly been trying to bring those to the attention of the district, but they don't seem to be hearing us. So we will continue to fight on your behalf. We are not giving in on Article 5, don't intend to. We are here to protect the rights of the members, and we will continue to do so at the table. You can rest assured. We're not going to simply give them up to make the deal. In other news, just a quick update where we're at on some of our other priority issues. For example, salary, SMEEA has put a on schedule percent increase on the table. However, the district has countered with 0. Benefits, good news there. The Benefits Committee is recommending a rate pass, which means no increase to member contributions in the next plan year, so that's huge. Let's see, what else? Nurses and SLPs. We have tried in our Article 5 counter, which we haven't received a response from the district yet on. Hopefully they'll have that for us also on the 2nd. In that counter that we made, we have requested an increase to the workday of SLPs, speech and language pathologists, and a increase in compensation to go right along with that. The district hasn't been opposed to the idea of increasing their workday, but has not yet proposed a salary increase to go along with that. So that's something that we have to work out as well. The nurses, we have been trying to get the district to agree to have 1 nurse per site. That's what we would like to see. It's in the best interest of students, it's what's safe, it's what's smart. However, they have expressed 0 interest in having a nurse at each site. So again, those are just 2 small parts of the larger Article 5 piece that, again, is really the linchpin in this bargain, it would seem. So we've got a lot of work to do. We have 1 day left on the calendar. That's June 2nd. So hopefully we'll make good progress on that day. And there is a chance that we could settle. There's always a chance we could settle. But we might not. We're not willing to compromise, as I said, simply to make the deal. But there's always the chance that we could settle on Tuesday. So anyway, just wanted to give you a quick update on where we're at. And I'd also like to express our sincere gratitude on behalf of the team and myself. We are very appreciative of all your support, and thank you for your continued words of kindness, your emails, wearing your SMEEA blue, letting us know that you care about us. It really goes a long way at the table. We really appreciate that. So I can't say that enough. Thank you. Also, just want you to rest assured that we're not going to give up the fight. If this battle, if you will, continues into the summer, we will probably be fighting into the summer too. So anyway, that is all. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jonathan. Really appreciate that. All right. So if you have any questions about benefits, you can always email Jonathan BA. He's our lead negotiator. That's awesome. Thank you. You may have heard by now that Mr. Ontiveros would like to do essentially a district-wide staff meeting on Friday, June the 5th. I know that Friday, that's our work day, and that's something that we traditionally hold near and dear to ourselves. It's our day to get out of our classrooms, to wrap up our CUMEs, our report cards, and all that good stuff, and really close out our school year. And we are very adamant year after year that these teacher work days are left unharmed or unintruded by other things like staff meetings and stuff like that. But these are very, very, very different times. And I think it's very important that everybody in our district, every certificated and classified person across our district, hears directly from our district superintendent. And this is his opportunity to do that. So you can expect some kind of announcement from your administrator about this. It'll be on Friday, June the 5th, and it most likely will occur as individual site staff meetings, but everybody hearing the same recorded message from Mr. Ontiveros. And so I just want you to know that we do understand that we cherish our classroom work time. We cherish these non-student work days. But I really think it's important that everybody hears from Mr. Ontiveros, everybody hears from the leader of our district about about how we move forward. All right. All right, so you've asked and we've answered. The SMEEA Gear Store is now open. And so go ahead and go back to the email that this video was attached to. You'll see a link to the SMEEA Gear Store. Click on that. Order up your SMEEA gear, stock up for the summer. I'm not sure that's a thing, but go for it, right? Lots of great stuff in the SMEEA Store, so please go ahead and order up. We will make sure those orders get to you, so make sure you fill out the form completely when you put your order in. All right. All right, that's all I have for you today. Happy Friday. Please enjoy your weekend. We will get 2 more of these next week, right? So Tuesday and Friday. And then starting the week of June 7th, we will be doing a FAQ update once a week. So through the summer, we will do weekly FAQ updates. They'll be coming out on Fridays. So please look for those. So next week, our last week of school, you're going to get a Tuesday and a Friday. And then starting the week after that, the week that includes June 7th, we will do weekly FAQ updates, and they will be on Friday, still 4 o'clock. So still shooting for that 4 o'clock goal. And so that's it. Thanks, everybody. Please take care. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll talk to you soon.